Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Labour Ministry conducts tests for Omani job seekers in Dhofar. Thunderstorms expected in some parts of Oman. Times of Oman Inter-School Quiz is back. Road accidents killed over 20 children in Oman last year. Indian Union Minister Sabranand Sonowal visits Chabahar port in Iran, reviews development. Taliban detain American filmmaker and Afghan producer in Kabul. Al-Shabaab Somali forces claim to end deadly 30-hour hotel siege, over 40 dead. Asia Cup 2022 trophy unveiled in Abu Dhabi. Transfer movements limit Barca's options ahead of Real Sociedad test. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. Tests and personal interviews were conducted for Omani job seekers to fill more than 100 job vacancies in various government agencies in Dhofar Governorate. According to Oman News Agency, the Ministry of Labour is conducting tests and personal interviews for a number of job seekers to fill 102 job opportunities in some government agencies in the Dhofar Governorate. Thunderstorms associated with active wind and hail are predicted over parts of the Sultanate of Oman on Sunday. A statement issued online by Oman Meteorology said the following. There are chances of the formation of convective clouds and thunderstorms accompanied by active wind and hail on the Al-Hajar Mountains and the adjoining areas and the desert of Dhofar, which may extend to Al-Dakhliya deserts, the Al-Dahira deserts and part of the Al-Wusta deserts during the afternoon and evening. Times of Oman Inter-School Quiz is by far the largest educational event that has been happening in Oman since 1996. In 2019, yet another facet of great value was added, Al-Shabiba Musabakat Bayan Madris. For the first time in Oman, the same event, which with all its grandeur, was conducted in Arabic also. The first ever Arabic quiz organized for the students of all private schools in Oman was extremely well received with an overwhelming participation of 3,800 plus students. This year again, Orbit Events Management, part of Orbit Leading Projects LLC and Omani SME, who has created a niche for themselves in the events industry, especially for societal events, will be organizing and managing the event. The most sought-after quiz master from India, Big Brain Giri, has become synonymous with Times of Oman Inter-School Quiz. He will continue to inspire and charm the students and audience this year too. To conduct the Arabic quiz, a dynamic young Omani quiz master, Faiz Ibrahim Al-Mamri, was introduced in 2019, who won everyone's heart. Faiz is a certified teacher, coach, trainer, author, and an award-winning public speaker with a great sense of humor. Registrations are open until 15th October. Please visit www.orbitsevents.com for more details. Prelims will be organized between 15th and 20th October. Mega prelims are scheduled for Wednesday, 26th October in Muscat. Finals are scheduled to be held on the 28th and 29th October 2022 at City Amphitheatre Kurum for English and Arabic quizzes respectively. For sponsorship opportunities in this mega project, please contact the organizers at 922-09181 or info@orbitevents.com. More than 53% of road traffic accidents in 2021 were caused by speeding, and over 20 children under the age of 7 years were victims of these accidents. Traffic accidents in the Sultanate of Oman during 2021 caused death of 24 children under the age of 7 years at a rate of 2 children every month, according to the traffic system report published by the National Center for Statistics and Information. According to the report, 84 children under the age of 7 were injured in the traffic accidents last year, constituting 5.3% of the total traffic accident victims in 2021. The report also revealed that more than half of the deaths in traffic accidents were in the age group of 26 to 50 years, that is 221 people, constituting 51.2% of the traffic deaths in Oman. Over 53% or 820 traffic accidents in 2021 were caused by speed, 282 due to misconduct, 453 due to negligence, 122 caused by disregard for safe distance norms, 56 due to overtaking, 41 due to defects in vehicle, and 65 traffic accidents were caused by other reasons. Those are a few of the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket, now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. India's Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, on Saturday visited Shahid Beheshti's terminal at Chabahar port in Iran to review the progress in the development of the port. In an effort to invigorate the potential of Chabahar Airport, the Union Minister Sarbananda Sonowal also handed over 6 mobile harbour cranes to Indian Ports Global Chabahar Free Trade Zone at the port, a government press release said. Sonowal on Thursday embarked on an official visit to Iran and UAE to visit Chabahar port and to participate in bilateral meetings with Iranian ministers. The Union Minister was accompanied by Indian ambassadors to Iran, Godaman Dharmendra, Dr. Ali Akbar Safai, Deputy Prime Minister and Managing Director of Ports and Maritime Organization Iran, led the Iranian delegation at the launch. Sarbananda Sonowal and Dr. Ali Akbar had a fruitful meeting on the development of maritime and port cooperation between Iran and India. Both the delegation discussed the possibilities of trade and unlocked trade potential between Central Asian countries with South Asian and even Far East countries like Japan and Korea. Sonowal reiterated the role Chabahar port can play in reducing distance, time and cost. It was decided to form a joint technical committee for the smooth functioning of the port. The meeting also addressed the future course of action towards development of the port. A New York-based media watchdog has called the Taliban to immediately release American journalist and independent filmmaker Ivor Shearer and Afghan producer Faizullah Faiz-Baksh and seize detaining journalists. On August 17, Shearer and Faiz-Baksh were filming in the Sherpur area of District 10 in Kabul, where a U.S. drone strike killed Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri earlier in August, when several security guards stopped them, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists, CPG. Congress-funded broadcaster Voice of America Dari and 2 journalists familiar with the case who spoke to CPG on condition of anonymity, citing fear of Taliban's reprisal. The guards questioned them about their activities and checked their work permits, ID cards and passports. They then confiscated the journalists' cell phones, detained them for a couple of hours and repeatedly called them American spies, according to the journalists familiar with the case. The security officers then called Taliban intelligence. Around 50 armed intelligence operatives arrived who blindfolded Shearer and Faiz-Baksh and transferred them to an unknown location, the journalists familiar with the case said. The Taliban's increasing pressure and escalating numbers of detentions of journalists and media workers, including the detention of American filmmaker Ivor Shearer and his Afghan colleague Faizullah Faiz-Baksh, shows the group's utter lack of commitment to the principle of freedom of the press in Afghanistan, said CPG Program Director Carlos Martinez de la Serna. Taliban officials must immediately release Shearer and Faiz-Baksh and stop their intimidation and pressure on the press in Afghanistan. In February 2022, Shearer arrived in Afghanistan on a 1-month visa after receiving a work permit from the Taliban Ministry of Foreign Affairs to produce a documentary about the last 40 years of Afghanistan's history, according to the journalists familiar with the case. Shearer's film and video work has been shown across the US and internationally in museums and film festivals. Faiz-Baksh works as a producer supporting the international journalists in Afghanistan and was contracted by Shearer, according to the journalists familiar with the case. Nearly 30 hours after Al-Shabaab terrorists stormed Hyatt Hotel in Somali capital Mogadishu, the siege that left dozens of people dead has ended, media reports said on Saturday, citing government forces. 40 people died and over 70 were injured from the attack by Al-Shabaab terrorists, the Sputnik news agency reported, citing Somali Guardian. Al-Shabaab spokesperson Abiyasis Abu Musab said the group repelled more than 15 attacks launched by the government troops. On Friday night, 3 explosions and gunfire between the Somali security forces and members of the Al-Shabaab group occurred at Hyatt Hotel, which is a popular place among lawmakers and government officials. The shooting between security officers and the attackers has been ongoing for nearly 30 hours, according to local media. Al-Shabaab, which is affiliated with Al-Qaeda terrorist group, has been waging an armed struggle against the government of Somalia and is still controlling large areas in the southern and central parts of the country. The international community on Saturday condemned the terrorist attack on Popular Hotel in Mogadishu. The EU on its part strongly condemned the cowardly attack on the Hyatt Hotel and shared its heartfelt condolences with those affected by the violence. The 27-member bloc said that the attacks will not derail efforts to help and stabilize Somalia. India also condemned the attack on the Hyatt Hotel in Mogadishu in the strongest words. It also expressed heartfelt condolences to the family of the victims and assured India stands with the government and people of Somalia in their fight against terrorism. Those were the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports news. The Asia Cup 2020 trophy was unveiled on Friday by Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, the chairman of the United Arab Emirates Cricket Board. The Asia Cup 2022 trophy was unveiled in Abu Dhabi earlier today by His Highness Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence and Chairman Emirates Cricket Board, said a statement from UAE Cricket. Also present at the unveiling were Mubashir Usmani, General Secretary Emirates Cricket Board, Shammi Silva, President of Sri Lanka Cricket, Ashley De Silva, CEO Sri Lanka Cricket, Subhan Ahmed, Advisor Emirates Cricket Board, Tusit Pereira, GM Finance and Operations Asian Cricket Council, and Prabhakaran Thanraj, Head of Events and Commercial Asian Cricket Council. The Asian Cricket Council's marquee event returns after a 4-year interval with the 2022 edition of the Men's Asia Cup. Being played in the T20 format across 2 venues, the Dubai International Cricket Stadium will host 9 games including the final, while Sharjah Cricket Stadium will host 4 games starting from August 27th through September 11th. Defending champions, India are also the most successful team, having won the trophy 7 times. While the last edition of the tournament was held in an ODI format, this edition will feature the T20 format. The 6 teams are divided into 2 groups, with India, Pakistan and a qualifying team in Group A, and Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Afghanistan form Group B. Each team plays the other once in the group stage, with the top 2 teams from each group advancing to the Super 4 round. The top 2 teams from Super 4 will qualify for the final. FC Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez will make changes to his side for Saturday's difficult trip to play Real Sociedad in the second round of La Liga on Sunday. Sergio Busquets, sending off in the disappointing 0-0 draw that Barca kicked off the season with, leaves a space to be filled in midfield by either Frankie de Jong or Miralem Pjanic, while Jordi Alba struggled last week and Balde could be given a chance. The fact that Ronald Araujo looked uncomfortable at right back last week also opens the door for Sergio Roberto to start in the Barca defense, while Araujo moves into a more central role alongside Eric Garcia. Xavi's decisions are limited by the fact that the club has still not been able to write new signing Jules Koundé into their squad due to financial fair play rules, while Serginho Dest is on the exit ramp as the club looks to reduce its wage bill. Real Sociedad began their season with a win in Cadiz, and the side coached by Emmanuel Alguacil once again aimed to qualify for Europe in the season. With Alexander Isak and former Barca youngster Takefusa Clubo in their starting 11, the Real Arena will provide a tough test of the new-look Barca, who need to win to avoid slipping behind early in the title race. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.